after spending much of my youth living in other states, I decided to settle right here in Utah. Even as a young man, I recognized there was something special about this state. And I'm not talking about the Jell-O, rubber chickens, fry sauce, or Kentucky Fried Chicken. More on all this later. I'll also tell you why I decided to move back to Utah as a 26-year-old. But for now, to put it simply, it's a fetchin', ridiculously epic place to live. For me and my family, this is the right place. In this video, I'll show you some of the highlights of Utah, and for you analytical humans, I'll even throw in some statistics. As I stated earlier, I spent most of my younger years away from the state, but I was born here. I settled Utah about 20 years ago, living in 8 different cities from northern Utah all the way to the southwest corner in St. George. I enjoyed traveling around the state to take in the many amazing sights and activities. So as far as experiencing what Utah has to offer, for the most part, I've been there, done that. In 1847, when seeing the Salt Lake Valley for the first time, Brigham Young, the Mormon prophet and pioneer, declared that this is the place. After an arduous journey, the Mormon pioneers settled the valley. Utah still has a large population of Mormons, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has its headquarters right here in Salt Lake City. But nowadays, a large number of cultures and religious denominations are represented here. Utah is actually more diverse than you'd think, as each year hundreds of refugees are resettled here, among other things which I'll get to. Speaking of settling, the Mormon pioneers weren't the first inhabitants. The territory was already occupied by Native Americans. As a child, I was raised on the Navajo Reservation. I have the deepest love and respect for my Native American brothers and sisters, but that's not what this video is about. Though I should mention the name Utah comes from one of these tribes, the Utes, which means people of the mountains. Utah became the 45th state on January 4th, 1896. As far as size goes, Utah is the 11th largest state, and it remains largely conservative. Utah's government is careful with our tax dollars. In short, the state is run well. Utah is also one of the safest places to live, ranking as one of the lowest in violent crime rates in America. Utah is known as the Beehive State because early pioneers had very few material resources at their disposal, and they had to rely on their own hard work and thriftiness just to survive. The symbol of the beehive stands for industry, and it can be found all over the state. An interesting side note, Utah's state bird is a seagull. In 1848, Mormon settlers' crops were saved from hordes of crickets by flocks of seagulls, and I'm not talking about the 80s band. This event was deemed a miracle. Utah is considered a desert mountain region, so the air here, well, it's dry. Utah's summer temperatures get well into the 100s, and in the winter we fall well below freezing. This extreme climate gives us all 4 seasons, but if you like it hot, you can always move to St. George, one of my favorite little cities in the whole wide world, and the place of my birth. Our explosive growth rate is due to several factors. For years, Utah's had the highest birth rate and one of the lowest death rates too. We also have one of the lowest move-out rates. People just don't want to leave, and I can't blame them. Or should I say, I can't blame us. Anyway, it's expected that our population will double by 2050. So, what's causing Utah to grow so fast? It all starts with our strong economy, and we are currently experiencing a tech boom and becoming the next Silicon Valley. As a matter of fact, they're calling the area around Salt Lake City known as the Wasatch Front Silicon Slopes, as we are quickly becoming the hotbed for tech and innovation. We are also the industrial banking center in America, and we're known for our mining and tourism. Many of Utah's cities are consistently ranked as some of the best places to live in the entire country, making it a great location to raise a family. Simply put, this is a safe, fun place to live. As a realtor, I meet a lot of people moving here from out of state. They're often shocked to see young children freely roaming the streets and surprised to see bicycles and skateboards just sitting in people's front yards. We also have the youngest population in the US at about 30 years of age. And as a whole, we're considered the healthiest in the United States. Utah's a unique place to live, and it's known for its natural beauty. We have 5 national parks and loads of protected forest land. If you haven't been to Zion's National Park, Bryce Canyon, Arches National Park, Canyonlands, or Capitol Reef, you are missing out. And the mountains here, they are just spectacular. You could do a new hike here every day for a year and never do the same hike twice. Seriously. The state also has its fair share of clean, refreshing lakes and waterfalls. Okay, we made it to Lake Desolation. We've got gorgeous waterfalls, too many to count. Our wonderful outdoors also offers some of the best hunting and fishing around. And Utah has the best snow on earth. If you like to ski or snowboard, Utah is a must-visit location. Just ask Cal Ripken Jr. or the slew of other famous and not so famous people who visit the state on a regular basis to enjoy our legendary snow, better known as powder. As a matter of fact, the Salt Lake Valley is one of the most accessible ski destinations in the entire world, with 14 ski resorts within quick striking distance of the city and the airport. You can touch down and be to a resort in about an hour. And if you didn't know this already, our snow is believed to be the reason Utah won the bid to host the 2002 Winter Olympics. This video is getting long, and you're probably thinking, what the heck? But I love this place, and really, I just can't say enough. There are so many wonderful places to visit right here in this state that I could go on for days. But due to time constraints and the fact that most people have really short attention spans, I'll quickly list some of the must-see places right here in Utah. Moab, rent a Jeep or any number of motorized vehicles and explore some of the craziest terrain on Earth. Lake Powell. Never have I seen such a beautiful and unique lake that offers so many fun activities. If you're seeking adventure, this is the place. Speaking of famous lakes, we have the Great Salt Lake. Yes, it's a huge body of insanely salty water. Speaking of salt, we also have the Salt Flats. It's a great place to drive super fast.
Famous Bonneville Salt Flats. This is cool.
Hey, Wally! And Taffy Town, the saltwater taffy factory. Temple Square brings visitors from all over the world to see the LDS temple that took Mormon settlers 40 years to build. A lot of people also come to Utah to learn more about where they came from. If you're curious about your genealogy, this is the place. For a good time, and if you want to see famous people, join us during the Sundance Film Festival. Also, Utahns love their sports. We have pro soccer, which is super cool, but the Utahns are really crazy about their Utah Jazz. The new team is exciting, but many people still miss Stockton to Malone. Speaking of famous people, Utah has some of its own. We have all-time great Merlin Olsen, Heisman Trophy winner Ty Detmer, Super Bowl winner Steve Young, Stephen R. Covey. We also had people like Danny Ainge, Dale Murphy, Jack Dempsey, Bush Cassidy, and of course, the Osmonds. I know I left some great ones out, but I simply can't name them all. So, going back to where I started, you know, with the rubber chickens and all. Did you know Utah has the leading manufacturer of rubber chickens? That's cool, I guess. We're also known as the Jello State. What can I say? We love the wiggly jiggly stuff. Some crazy people even put shredded carrots inside of their Jello. Yes, it's sad, but true. I've even eaten it that way. Seriously though, who does that? In my hands, I hold a super fancy Jello. If you look on the bottom, you have a crushed pretzel crust with whipped cream in the middle and raspberry Jello mixed with real raspberries. Doesn't that look delicious? And we still have the original KFC still in operation today. This is a piece of chicken from the first ever original KFC right here in Utah. That was a big bite. Good. And I wouldn't be doing anyone a favor if I left out fry sauce. Great on French fries. But even better on your burger. I could just drown my burger in this stuff. Seriously, this stuff is so good, I could drink it. There are like dozens of different recipes for fry sauce, but it's mostly just a mixture of ketchup and mayo.
If you're not putting fry sauce all over your burger, you are missing out.
All silliness, statistics, and marketing schemes aside, there's one thing that makes Utah extra special. It's the one thing that keeps me and so many others here. Utah is the friendliest, most charitable place I know of. People sincerely care for one another. When there's a death or tragedy, neighbors take care of neighbors. The outpouring of love and service provided to individuals and their families during these trials is a beautiful thing to see. And when you walk down the street, strangers say hi to one another. I also believe Utah is the safest place for me to raise my family. Really, truly, there's no place in the world like Utah. If you're apprehensive or nervous about moving or vacationing here, I am telling you with all sincerity, you have nothing to fear. No matter where you come from, whatever your race, nationality, gender, sexual orientation, or religion, you will be welcome here with open arms. Yes, this is the place. Now, before you arrive, you'll want to learn how to talk like a Utahn. There's some unique terminology you must learn before you get here. For instance, some words here don't have the same meaning as they do in other places. Words like fetch, slots, and cougar. If you live in Utah or you visited here and you notice something important that I've missed, please comment below for the benefit of the other viewers. If you'd like to see videos of the many great hikes Utah has to offer, I'll put links to some of the best hikes in the state below as well. Thanks for watching. Please give my video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. If you know someone who's looking to visit or move to Utah, please share this video with them. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Please type your remarks below. And please, if you don't have something nice to say, well, you know how the rest goes. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty the Real Estate Guy. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to hit that little red subscribe button below. It'll make you feel good.